All right, the presence of parentheses really doesn't make any difference here. First thing you're going to do is you're going to do is identify who's being oxidized and who's being reduced in this equation. If we were to assign charges here, an oxidation, well, actually we don't even need to do that in this way. Let's write our two half reactions. We have iron 2 hydroxide going to iron 3 hydroxides. Then we have chromate going to chromium 5 hydroxide. Actually, I'd have to look up how to name that one. Going to form this compound here. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to balance. Let's take a look at the first equation right here. Let's take a look at this one first. If we're going to do this stepwise, let me scoot it over here and I'll write my steps out. Step 1. Write your half reactions. That's what we did. We took one of your reactants, wrote what it becomes on the other side. Took your other reactant, wrote what it becomes on the other side. Step 2. Balance everything that's not oxygen and hydrogen. Well, our iron's balanced, so is our chromium. Step 3, we're going to balance our oxygen using water. So in this equation here, I have 2 oxygens. Over here I have 3 oxygens. So I'm going to have to add a water to this side of my equation. Down here, situation's a little bit easier. I have 4 oxygens. Then I have this in parentheses, so I have 4 oxygens here. So my oxygens are balanced. Now I'm ready for my next step. And my next step balance hydrogen using the hydrogen ion. So again, looking at this half reaction, I have 2 hydrogens right here. Then I have 2 hydrogens over here, so I have 4 total on this side. Over here I have 3 hydrogens. So I'm going to have to balance. To balance, I'm going to have to add 1 hydrogen. Second half reaction, I have 0 hydrogens here, but I have 4 hydrogens over here. So I'm going to have to add 4 hydrogen ions to balance out my hydrogens. Now step 5. These are the same steps I gave you in the lecture. Balance the charge by adding electrons. You always want to bring the higher charge down to the lower charge. in this equation right here, we have a +1 on this side, a 0 charge on this side. So I have to make +1 into 0 by adding an electron to that side of my equation. Over here, the math is a little bit more interesting. I have a +4 here, right? 4 times that is +4, plus a -2 for this side of my equation gives me a net of +2. Over here, I only have the -1 showing, so I have a -1. I have to bring my higher charge down to my lower charge. What do I have to add to 2 positive to make it -1? Well, I have to add, 3 electrons. Now I'm going to add the half reactions together. Step 6. Add half reactions to cancel electrons. You have to have the half reactions in such a fashion that they cancel out the electrons. I have 1 electron in this equation. I have 3 electrons in this equation. So I'm going to multiply my top equation by 3 in order to get my electrons to cancel out. When I do that, that makes my top equation, and I'm going to rewrite it down here. Three waters plus 3 and I'm going to add, I just multiplied this through by 3 and wrote it down here. Now I'm adding this equation to that equation, and when I do that, let's see what cancels out. Anything on opposite sides of the arrow can cancel out. So my So my electrons are gone, and I didn't mean to. I goofed. There we go. My 3 electrons are now gone. My hydrogens, I can cancel out some hydrogens. I've got 4 hydrogens on this side of my equation, 3 on this side. So that's going to give me a net in my final equation of 1 hydrogen on this side. Then I've got my chromate, nothing to cancel it out. Then I come to water, and I have nothing to cancel out my water. Then I have oh, whoops, I forgot my iron hydroxides. I'm running out of room here. And that's going to yield for a product and that's it. Chemistry's easy, life is hard.